Residential using the IPCS method, which means Integrated Production Control System. In this video, I'm going to answer a question that I get a lot is, Jason, how can we for smaller residential, which doesn't mean easier because they're not easier, but smaller residential projects, how can we implement an overall lean system? And so I'm going to pull out from the overall system the key components that are very, very important. And then what I'll do is I'll link you to a longer video about the integrated production control system in case you want to pull some more. And I will also list the other specific component videos that I've done for the IPCS. So if you're into that, then you're going to love this. Please stay with us. Okay, so the integrated production control system, I do IPCS, right? And I would say method. This is a method. This is not just for us. This is not just for our company. It's aggregating all the lean concepts that you need to run a project properly. So there's a lot more to it on larger jobs, but for the simple residential ones, meaning shorter, simpler residential, which don't mean that they're easy to manage. It might be harder. I have a lot of respect for residential. Let me tell you the key components. Okay, so statistically, one of the things that you'll still want to do, even for residential, is pre-plan. You're not going to have months or years like in large commercial projects to pre-plan, but at least having your plan, your schedule, how you're going to zone it, your procurement, your trade partners, your overall strategic plan, and your logistics, I would say, is key. Having all of the key planning deliverables before you put a shovel in the ground will help your project do well. That is from a statistical standpoint, the best bang for your buck. So pre-planning, and you can check this out if you're like, hey, Jay Money, this is too vague. There's a book called Elevating Pre-Construction Planning that you can order at any time to really go learn more about this. And I'll actually give you in the description below a checklist for the key things that I would recommend on all projects. So that's number one. Number two, one of the IPCS components is to build the team. This is really good advice. It might seem commonplace to you, but hear me out. Your company owners, the client, and the trade partners are your team. If you are leading a residential project, you must have great relationships with these humans. Please don't treat the trade partners like they're one and done, like they're expendable. Develop a deep and intimate, appropriately intimate, meaning like professional relationship with them. Take care of that client and continue that client relationship throughout. So maintaining the team is key. It's crucial. The other thing is the plan. When I talk about the IPCS for large commercial projects, you have a macro level TAC plan, a norm level TAC plan, and all of this planning that needs to be done. For a residential project, I do want you to put it in a time by location format, and I do want you to do your overall strategic plan, because you can't align procurement and you cannot get people to the job site at the right start dates if you don't have it. So you must have a procurement tracking system, which was actually number, I think, 4, is to make sure that procurement is on track, okay? And you in the residential business, you'll know if that tile or if that heating unit or if that electrical panel is going to take time. Start your procurement efforts early, review it often, and make sure it's aligned to your production plan. So at a minimum, have one visual, color-coded by trade, and make sure that at least your long lead procurement items here are taken care of. One of the last things that I want to talk to you about is the culture. So on your project site, I don't care that it's residential. I expect the same things: clean, safe, and organized. Okay, so I would strongly recommend that you implement zero tolerance when it comes to this, and expect everyone, yes, your concrete and your framers as well, to clean up as they go, make sure that they're safe and they're organized, and to follow the same rules when it comes to safety on a commercial job site. Now, the other quick things that I want to mention Yes, you will implement TACT principles here. We can link you to some videos about TACT in the description below. But the most important thing is, at a minimum, when you're planning with your trades, what I want to ask you to do is at least have one time in a week where you go ahead and make the plan. This could be virtual meetings, this could be phone calls, this could be whatever you want, but make sure that the plan from the current date all the way to the next week is mapped out and that everybody's queued up and ready to go. And the last bit of advice I would give you is, if you're on a residential job, you're not there all the time. I would have a huddle board on the site, and if you have a production plan, put it up there. If you have a weekly work plan, put it up there. If you have the logistics, put it up there. Any information that you need to post and leave for people on site, put it on your huddle board that will easily communicate to your people. So this is minimum what I'm asking you to do from a lean perspective. If you want to get into the overall perspective, the overall system, I'll link you to that other video, and you can look at some of those other component videos as well. But the bottom line is, just because it's residential, don't give up on the IPCS method. There are some key things that you can do here to really win. And I would say the biggest one here is to make sure that you pre-plan a good plan that's posted that everybody can see and follow. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'll turn this into a blog post, a Canva graphic, and I'll link you to the other videos and the longer video that talks about the IPCS method. But I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've enjoyed it enough to like and subscribe to the channel. On we go.